Hey guys, welcome to the Jawas and Java podcast. Today we have a big guest on the show, professional wrestler, our good friend and avid collector, Chris Payne.
What's
He
going
loves,
on? What's
he
going
loves
on?
when I call him professional wrestler.
Yeah, totally love it.
All right, so as always, you know who I am. My name is Mike. This is my brother Stefan. Below us is Chris, and Chris is a avid collector. We do a lot of collecting. We've known each other for a long time. Gone to a lot of wrestling shows, and now we go to a lot of Targets. So we're going to talk today all about merchandise, the stuff that we have, the stuff that we're looking to get, how we get it. Talk a little bit about scalpers. Talk a little bit about Galaxy's Edge. So here we go. Like I said, we're going to be talking all about merch. And I know Chris wakes up really early or after his shift at work and goes to Target and picks stuff up for me. And sometimes I meet him there, but very rarely, because usually I know he'll pick it up for me anyway. And my brother, he works early, so he doesn't do anything. We get the stuff for him if we can. So he has the life.
Half my inventory is purchased by you guys.
Yeah,
most of
the stuff that you see in the back is from Chris. I know Thrawn's back there somewhere in the top corner.
Yeah,
that was the most recent.
Every day is like Black Friday for me.
Yeah, exactly. Up early at the stores. So I know. Well, first of all, we'll talk a little bit about what's the newest merch that we all got. What's the newest thing, whatever it is, Star Wars related, that each of us own. What do you got, Chris? Probably 20 things at once, but
I mean, where should I start? Probably the Captain Cardinal Galaxy's Edge helmet. I think I just got that yesterday. I didn't open it yet because I don't want my son breaking it.
Well, you could get a view. Stefan's got it too. He's got it in the back.
Mine's right over my right shoulder.
There you go.
It was my first Hasbro. It was my first Hasbro helmet, so I ripped the box open. I had no.
Yeah, we did the unboxing. We posted it on our story because it.
Yeah, and the helmet looks tremendous.
Yeah,
I think it's the biggest box they put out besides the Stormtrooper one.
It's a big helmet, but it looks good.
Really big on my head. But I could feel that it's really big on my head. Like it's not for the average sized human being. It's really large.
Well, that's because I think a lot of the Black Series stuff is geared more towards the collector than it is for like kids.
Yeah, for sure.
The only problem I have with one of the helmets is probably the Boba Fett. That Boba Fett helmet is extremely tight. Like my nose gets smushed. There's no breathing room in that if you're going to use it for
the Black Series Boba. The Black Series Boba, yeah.
You basically have that, right, Mike? It's just the DIY white version. I'm sure it's the same fit.
It should be just the same thing as a prototype. The same mold.
Yeah.
So it's the same mold. It's just the all white prototype. I have a lot of Boba prototype merch.
See, but that one, like it might be a little tight on the face, but it feels like it's meant for me. The Captain Cardinal, I would never be able to fit. Like I don't think anybody could physically put that on their head and it be somewhat comfortable. It's way the Black Series clunky.
The helmets themselves are just way too. They're hard. The plastic is hard. Everything.
Yeah.
I have the Kylo Ren. Well, yeah, it's true. But the Kylo Ren one I wore for Halloween several times, and they have the bridge of that nose, the plastic piece that they have. It's unwearable. Like if you duck down and come back up, you might break your nose. It's so heavy, and it sits so high on the head. It doesn't sit properly.
Well, you also constructed your own Rex helmet, right? So do you have it? You don't have it on you?
I do.
Oh, all right. So show that off.
That's my that's my second prized possession behind the other piece we'll talk about.
I feel like I built it because you sent me like every swat of paint that you put on that helmet. I saw it step by step get built, I felt like I was part of that. So that was pretty cool.
Now, how does that fit? That fits like a glove? Yeah.
So I'll explain it.
I need to get my hands on one.
I'll explain it briefly. So I'll put this on real quick. The great thing about these helmets are the guy that makes them. I don't know if you guys know this. He worked with the Mandalorian on season 2. I forgot which I think he did some droid work, but I forgot which ones he did. But he actually worked on the props.
What was the company for that?
Imperial Surplus.
Imperial Surplus. Okay, yeah, I hear such
I've
good.
looked at their stuff.
They put out top quality stuff. They're the ones that the 501st uses. A lot of clones and stuff like that use them. So I wanted to start with the helmet first, and then see how I went from there. How artistic I was, and I'm probably gonna end up doing a full Rex animated series, not the live version, because it's two separate ones. But it comes in. You have to separate it yourself. You have to cut it out, and then it comes with elastic. And then on the inside, what I did was, I know a couple people said use bike helmet foam. I found baseball helmet padding, and everything was just perfect to like the cheeks, the forehead, over the top, and it connects by magnets that you have to put inside the helmet, and then it's real simple.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that's
the ideal helmet. If you're gonna get a helmet at the end of the day, obviously the Black Series ones are like fun, and I love that. I love the characters they come out with. But if you're gonna do it, that's the right way to do it.
I mean, the coolest thing too is that Chris literally put that together himself. Like when he sent me the original pictures of that thing, it was just a big bucket, pretty much.
Giant piece of PVC.
Yeah, that's all it was. And he followed the directions, cut it, and that looks like a. I mean, I want to say screen accurate, but it's an animated series, so it's
possession out of all the stuff he has.
And it's really cool to be able to do that yourself. And now, like, you know what I mean? Like that's like a piece of art.
So like all this stuff was like, this was just like, so obviously we'll give them a plug, whatever. Rexing Around, the kid Michael that does he's very big in clones. I pretty much followed his outline for what he said to do, and I used the same similar paints as far as like the weld lines go. And then I was really struggling with how I was going to do the tally marks. And then I was like, screw it. And I went with just a Testor's model paint. And I just very like meticulously just went down and did it that way. The only thing I got to do is dirty it up a little bit. It's way too clean for a clone helmet. So this, if you can see this, the mesh inside the gray. That's like screen door screening. I took that from a window.
That's awesome, though.
I spent $5 on a Home Depot window, one of those ones that open up, and then I cut it out and I just hot glued it in there. But that's probably, I mean, that took a lot of time. That was a lot of patience, trial and error stuff. So that's one of my favorite pieces.
I love that's me and my brother. Like we've been, obviously we've been doing this for a long time, enjoying Star Wars, and now we got into doing the podcast. And one thing that we always wanted to do was get some helmets that are like screen accurate 501st type helmets, or or even ones that are just custom and just to enjoy and have. So I don't know when this episode's going to come out. Depends when our producer Andrew edits it and puts it out. So I don't want to say too much, because tonight I'm trying to, or tomorrow morning, I told Stefan a little bit, and off air I'll tell you, Chris. And the reason why I'm going to tell you off air is because something's dropping tonight that's custom that I'm trying to get. And if I say it on air and people know what I'm talking about, I'm going to be fighting all of you guys to get it. And I don't want to do that because my birthday's coming up and this is a birthday present for myself. So, and what I'll do too is if I do get it, is no guarantees, because this is one of those things where it's going to drop, it's custom, and if I could get it, I could get it. But if I do get it, I'll let you guys know. And if I don't get it, I'll let you guys know what I was trying to get.
Because we've been wanting these helmets for a while, and just getting this Black Series helmet made me want it even more. Because of how, like you said, it fits like a glove. It's perfect. It's your prized possession and all that stuff.
And just like you said, like you like Rexing Around and all those different, like they do a lot of videos where they show off their armor and stuff. And I've seen them before, and it's really cool, like
and personal.
Yeah. And if you can do it, and if you have like you did the helmet, you got the mold, you did the helmet. My biggest fear is messing it up. So I'm going to eventually get to the point where I get a mold and I do it myself. That's definitely going to be a thing. But right now, if I could have somebody else do the work and I pay them for it.
That's the great thing about the animated series, though, the Clone Wars, because if you mess up, you mess up. It is what it is. They're dirty anyway.
Exactly.
So
well, that's the thing.
No one's gonna be like, "Oh my God, his dirt's in the wrong spot." No, it's animated series. They were filthy. That's what it's supposed to be, and you just do it whether you want the way you want to do it, not based off what somebody else does, because it's your kit no matter what. So whether it's right for you, it's not what's right for somebody else. It's what makes you happy.
Exactly.
So also I want to like I could sit here and say the stuff that we collect, but like I think we pretty much collect everything. Star
Yeah,
Wars,
it's
like
horrible.
like I know like I'll go into a store and buy something that I don't need, but it has a Star Wars logo. Like I'll buy Ziploc bags with
The
the Star
lightsabers,
Wars logo on it.
those
Yeah,
lightsabers from yesterday.
like those lightsabers that when those dropped on Instagram, because I follow a lot of accounts and people like show us what's dropping or will let us know and stuff. And when I saw those, I was like, what the hell are these? Like they
Yeah,
make no
we were
sense.
saying that
R2
those were the stupidest. We specifically said that those were some of the worst merchandise we've seen, and we bought the whole rack.
They're for
they had 6 and we bought all of them.
What were they? $12.99?
Like $10.99 or something.
Yeah,
but we there's like most of these pieces of merch are for kids. And that is something that's very much for kids.
Yeah, sure.
But we don't look at Star Wars stuff like it's for kids. We look at like it's for everyone. And when we see something and it's
even
Star Wars,
the blade is like this big.
Of course,
it's a kid's toy. So we meant to be held by a 6-year-old.
So when they released it, I said to
I was 26-year-old.
I was like, how does it make sense that this is a stormtrooper hilt, an R2D2 hilt? It made no sense. So now we went to Target the other night because we go to Target all the time, and we ran into and we saw them sitting there, and there was 4 of them, and 2 of them were dark side, 2 of them were light side, and I was like, all right, I'm getting these 2, and he was like, all right, I'm getting these 2, and we got them,
and we also left with a Lego set, and we also left with.
I'm not a. Legos are cool. I can't do it.
I know.
That's another rabbit hole that I
love
cannot fall down.
If it was up to me, I would only have. If it was up to me, I would be perfectly fine if I only had Star Wars Legos. Like, those are my babies. I love those. You want to talk about like I build them. Some of them I have the AT-AT that was 1,200 pieces.
Yeah.
I have the Resistance shuttle that was 900 pieces. They're a pain in the ass and they take hours of time. But when you're finished, I mean, they're pretty much all right here. I mean, the Grogu was a pain in the ass because it's what is it, 1,200 pieces, and they're all this big.
The Grogu helmet, the head.
Sorry,
the Grogu head.
No. The Grogu right here. It's the.
Oh, I see it. I got
Grogu,
you.
Yeah. And its whole body is just micro pieces of little tan pieces. It was a nightmare, but
it's like doing a puzzle and all the pieces like it makes up something and all the pieces look exactly the same color and you have to figure out where they fit. That's pretty much what that Lego set was like.
Well, I'll give you an example because you guys know I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. Just to get off second.
Yeah.
I bought the one Jurassic Park one that was geared for Jurassic Park. It was the scene inside the computer room with the Velociraptor attacking.
Yeah, of course.
This is why I don't like Legos. There's nothing wrong with them. They look great when they're finished, but they put all the mechanics of everything inside of it. So now you do that, you spend an hour on that little section, then you just cover it up with one giant piece, and you're like, well, what am I doing with that? No one's going to look at that. It doesn't really work. So they look great when they're done. I'm not a fan of putting them together, and it's just they're too expensive.
I love the Legos. The great thing about like me and Stefan that like being brothers and we've always bought Star Wars stuff that we kind of separated our collections. So like if he was doing, because like I can't just have one of something. So if I'm going to do it, I need everything. Like I will buy something and then that's it. Like I don't want the rest of them, but I have to buy the rest of them because I have one. So that's why I never did the Legos. And like he does the Legos. So it's like I still get to experience and see the Legos and when I'm there, he's showing me the new ones, or I'm with him and we're picking them up. Or Christmas, his birthday, I'm always buying him a set. But like I kind of just live through him with the Legos. I don't have to do anything, and I could just enjoy the.
Well, that's
product.
how it was with Funko Pops with you, because pretty much I have like 2 Star Wars Funko Pops. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I have 1,000 Funko Pops because I had them all. So yeah. And when we lived together as kids and we first started collecting Funko Pops before we moved out, we pretty much just thought of it as one giant collection, which a lot of our stuff is still at our dad's house in bins in the garage. And he's always complaining about it because we took over the entire garage with bins of merch, just like you have in your basement.
My basement's disgusting.
I've seen it.
So ready, right here, right here. I'm gonna send you pictures. You can put it right here, right over of everything that I have in my boxes in my basement. It's disgusting, but it's hilarious. Like Funko Pops are a sleeper trap because all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'll just get this set. And then I'll get this set. And then I'll get this set. And all of a sudden you turn around, you got 90. And it's like, where did you come from? Like, look,
Funkos were.
I have Hondo too.
Yeah,
I
got that for Mike.
But how could you not? How could you not have that one? That's one of my favorite Funkos that I have. That's one that I still have out on display.
I've come to
That's
the
great too, DJ
conclusion.
Rex.
I've come to the conclusion that they can sell me anything by putting a Galaxy's Edge logo on it.
Okay, so let's talk Galaxy's Edge.
Which is really dicey because that's why I got the Captain Cardinal. That's why I got the Resistance Shuttle. That's why I got all that stuff because they throw a Galaxy's Edge logo on it. And
I have everything literally Galaxy's Edge except for the because Mike, I told you I don't like the plushes. I can't stand plushes.
I have all the plushes.
Yeah, I know you do.
And plushes.
I love plushes. And the box that I took. Well, I got the entire. Yeah, I know. I got the entire collection and they were all sitting in the box. So I said, why don't I take the display piece? Because I know you did
that makes sense.
With something. And I was like,
I did that with the droids, the little blue boy, the blue box.
Yeah, I remember.
Box droids. I took the whole rack for that.
I remember.
But so for me, Galaxy's Edge, I've been going to Disney my whole entire life. And then when they put Star Wars there, it was like no brainer. Like everything had to be bought that was Galaxy's Edge. So, I mean, I had to find all the figures. I had to find Hondo by himself, the droid, gold Stormtrooper, was a Commander Pry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had to get the helmet. I even tried to get the display from Target. The kid had it for me, and he thought that I didn't come the day that he told me to, and he threw it out the next that morning when I came there, and they got crushed with all sorts of garbage in the dumpster.
Well,
I was going to take
the
display
boxes the display boxes get thrown away when they're done with
them. And they give you some excuse like, "Oh, we can't give it to you, like you care because they're taking care of you so well." But
I know, right?
I just feel like Galaxy's Edge, like when it comes to like Disney and stuff like that, like there's a big connection for people. So I go there all the time. So to me, Galaxy's Edge is like it's my whole life. Like I've been going to Disney my whole life. It's all connected. And then when you finally get there, me and Mike talked about doing literally a day trip, like spending 12 hours.
We talked about it plenty of times.
And then coming back. And it's just way too expensive flight-wise.
But that's like that on paper, that concept, money aside, is not crazy to me whatsoever. Just traveling south.
Oh, no, we can rationalize that. Other people are like, that's a waste of money.
No, it's genius in my opinion.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it for people who don't know that are watching us, I mean, I think that you guys could probably pick up on it by our accents, but we live in New York and so it's not like
we don't have New York accents.
Yeah, sure. And it's it's not that we could just go, it's not an easy trip during a pandemic, especially, right. You know what I mean? During the circumstances. So it's not easy for people that are living in the area to go at this time. And I believe Galaxy's Edge in California is still closed. They have the trading post and stuff.
Yeah, they're doing the trading post.
Yeah. So, which is awesome.
Which is still tough because people are buying stuff up and trying to, so.
Well, that's how I get my merch.
We use the smugglers. So, if you really break it down, so like people always like, oh, I have a Savi shop opening or a droid. Yeah, there you go. That's how I got my Ahsoka blades from the Clone Wars. If you break down like daily, like, oh, there's a smuggler's fee and then there's tax and shipping and blah blah blah. If you break that down, think about how much it costs to go in the park. Number one, think about how much it's going to cost to pack in your luggage. Think about the hotel stay. Think about the flight. Everything that it costs to go down to Disney. What's an extra $50 for somebody to say, hey, here, I'll send it to you.
Listen, it's hard times right now. So if people are willing to do something like that for you, amazing. And there you go. Nice mug, which is available in our merch shop. And we're going to have new mugs hopefully soon that we're going to be selling a little bigger because we drink a lot of coffee, as you can tell.
This is a shot glass for me. I drink.
Oh my God.
I know.
Shot glass.
I know.
Yeah.
We're
putting out Jawas and Java coffee kegs coming soon.
So slap that label on a bag of coffee. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't tempt us. So like I was saying, so if people are willing to go to Galaxy's Edge and help you out and pick up the stuff, I have no problem compensating them. And I also have no problem still supporting Galaxy's Edge from New York during a time where they're not making as much money.
Shop Disney. This hat from Shop Disney.
That's another thing too. A great thing that's happening during the pandemic is that they did release a bunch of stuff online, and I was able to get things that I really, really wanted to get that I wasn't. That's how I got these two. Exactly.
These are park exclusive. You can't get before the pandemic. If there was no pandemic, you wouldn't get these two on Shop Disney.
And they released a few of the hilts. They released a few of the hilts online, and I know me and you are on.
I have a ton of pins. I got a ton of Galaxy's Edge pins over the course of the past 8 months.
Yeah. I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit. Michael and I were talking back and forth relentlessly on the first day they dropped the first shipment on from Batu, and they only had like 5 lightsabers available. I'm not a
we
guy that
wanted
buys.
more.
Like
It was
I
weird.
wanted to get 2 moles because you got to have 2 moles. You can't just have a half of a mole.
Of course
Like,
not.
Well,
right.
yeah, I have
They'll
two.
get
I
you
have
with
two
that. They
moles.
might as well sell them together in one box, in one big box, like they do with Ahsoka, and double the price.
Anything that's a double hilt should come as a double hilt automatically.
Yeah, and just double the price like they did with Ahsoka.
Yeah. So it's more merch of mine that I have. The Temple Guard lightsaber. This should be a double saber.
100.
I don't know how this isn't a double saber, and it's kind of disappointing that it's not. But however,
do you have 2?
No, I only have the 1 for now. I want to make sure that I get all of what is it, 13 or 14 hilts available right now overall in the whole set.
Yeah.
I have 7 of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing is beautiful for the money that you spend. I mean, for the prop that you're getting, I think the money is well worth it. And
I want that one really bad.
This one's awesome,
and I love the yellow blade.
Yeah, the yellow blade.
I want it for the yellow blade, not because of the Jedi Temple Guards. But you're right, it is a double.
I'm a big prop guy, as you guys can see. I love the.
Well, did you see? I don't know if you have it. I can't remember because you have so much stuff. But do you have the Temple Guard mask?
I didn't buy that.
You didn't yet, right? I know. No. I think I remember us talking about it. Yeah, that's a really cool thing to have.
Yeah.
But, and I would love to have like a nice little setup with my Temple Guard mask and my double saber. But like, I need that attachment, and they don't offer it through Galaxy. And you could probably get it through Etsy and one of the shops or something like that. But like for something that you're paying like this, they should figure out the attachment. They do it with the Maul hilt, which they did a decent job. It's a little wonky. The problem, I mean, I'm obviously a big Maul guy.
The machining of it's off, right? It's like it's like a brighter silver, or
it's just a pain to set up. Like you got to use the Allen key. It's just a little wonky.
Half turn backwards, half turn forward.
I don't know if you had this issue with this certain one. Like the Galaxy's Edge hilts and the sabers are amazing. I love them, but the Maul, when I'm holding it and I'm playing around with it and I have both, sometimes one side will go off. Do you have that issue? Or did you?
No, I've only connected it twice, I think. Well,
yeah,
I think I connected it twice, and I don't even have. I only have the one blade that I have from when I built Savi's workshop blade, so I don't even have.
Okay, you don't have the 2, so
I got to take advantage of that sale.
My issue is like, I guess because the mechanics of it, it's a little wonky. So that's my only issue with that. But individually, the sabers are gorgeous and I love them and they do the job. And if you're looking for higher quality sabers, or you could go online and get something like that. But
the Kyber crystal boxes that they ship them in are amazing. I love these things. And then if you you want to have a little project yourself, a little sandpaper, dirty it up, and then make it your own thing, kind of like they're removing them from Jeddah.
Yeah, no, they do a great job with those.
Are the Temple Guard hilts still on Shop Disney? Like as we speak?
So that was my problem with Disney. Like the first shipment, they only gave you a handful of them, and it was like, okay, yeah. And then they put out a second one, but like the stock that they had wasn't great, and
it was really weird. That first drop was like very like cosplay Halloween kind of. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like they released the Jedi robes, the Sith robes, the jackets, all the wearable products, and a few hilts. Like it was pretty much like either you were gonna get a really kick-ass Halloween costume, or you really had nothing to buy there necessarily. I wasn't gonna buy a Jedi robe.
Why? I was. I got it. If the fact that it wasn't mid quarantine and I put on weight from not working out like I used to, I would have bought one. But my goal was to like lose weight and then get back into the smaller size.
If I buy a Jedi robe, it's gonna be I'm gonna buy it on the morning of at Galaxy's Edge and sweat my ass off in Orlando.
No, I wanted
14 hours at that park.
I had because they had like a package that you could have got, like it had everything together, and I thought I had it in my cart for the longest time. The Sith robe,
wasn't it like $260 or something like that?
Something. It wasn't really horrible at all, and they're good quality too. So I had it in my cart. The only reason I didn't pull the trigger was, like I said, this was like prime Corona, quarantine, and I didn't know if I was going to use it. Plus, I already had a Halloween costume because I don't know if anybody saw it, but I posted on Instagram. You could probably find it somewhere. I had the full Stormtrooper outfit, not 501st approved.
You got mad at me for that one.
So
I got the helmet.
I know. I know. And I paid a lot. I needed that helmet because the costume that I got, the actual costume was cool. it's not like I wasn't getting it to cosplay. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I was, I would have got a better one, but I was just getting
you got it for a one-off.
Yeah, I got it for like a Halloween costume, and it's cool to have. Maybe throw it on a mannequin with my Darth Vader or something like that. But the helmet that came with it wasn't
it like distorted? Like it was like
it just looked like I looked like a Martian. Like it was like especially us. Like other people who aren't Star Wars fans might not have noticed, but like
it looks like a Black Series Stormtrooper.
We're very meticulous with this. Like the Stormtrooper head was really tall, and it wasn't great. So I ended up using the Black Series. That's when I got the Black Series Stormtrooper helmet for the costume, and it did the job. So,
yeah, I got that helmet for 75 or 78.
I got it for like 120. Like 2 days before you got it. Like once mine shipped and came in.
It's just the Black Series Stormtrooper.
Okay.
You know my Black Series Stormtrooper helmet.
Of course.
He bought it, and like 2 days later, I'm like, "Hey, look what I got for $70-something."
Yeah, like mine arrived, and I got it for like 120, and then it was on sale, and he got it for 70.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, look what I got."
But that sounds about right. That's pretty much the story of on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about distorted?
That thing you didn't get, Chris got it this morning at Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's only because I live there and they gave me a key. What's called? Let's talk a little bit of Hasbro control, quality control.
It has been, yeah. I mean,
helmets have been horrendous.
A lot. There's been a lot of complaints about paint jobs and the control, the quality control on Black
Cody?
Series.
Is that Cody you're sneaking out over there?
That is.
How is that one? I don't have Cody.
So there's plenty of people that are gonna like nitpick at it, like, oh, the torso's too short, too long, and then the paint.
I love that whole
short.
set.
I'm like, okay, I get it. I know what you're saying. At the end of the day, is it gonna make or break for me? No, because I like to display stuff. And when people walk in a room and there's like 13 clone trooper setup, it's gonna be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. They're not gonna be like, hey man, that's animated and
that's not a real. I feel like that's not a real thing. That like
oh, it's a real thing. If you watch some of these,
no, I'm saying it's not a real like that's too stressful. That's too much work for me to nitpick an action figure to actual size and actual.
But people have a legitimate gripe with that when it comes to like quality control, because earlier in the lines, like when they first came out, when they had the square boxes and it was mostly it was like that matte black and they had like the blue stripe or the orange stripe down the box. They came out so much better. The paint apps were better. And then it's like only a few years went by. You're reusing the same mold, the same paint. I don't understand what the problem is. Where'd the app go? Did you lose it? Did you misplace it? Like it's not car keys.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have files for these things. So when people get upset that things are like off, I totally get it. Like, so people get upset because it's it's Rex and they wanted an animated one, but they made it a live action one. But they never made a live action Rex. It only came out in the Clone Wars.
Well, they're doing a lot of live action. Yeah,
about how every single like sideshow model is live action. So the Cody sideshow statue looks like Tamara Morrison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty strange that they do that. That they make everybody.
Well, I think it's cool.
Action version.
So this is my thing. So I think it's cool. One of my, which you guys know, and I've mentioned it many times on the show. One of my favorite characters in Star Wars is Maul. So anything Maul related.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time.
I jump on it. My issue is I love Sideshow. I love what they put out. It's awesome. I love my Grogu. You know, people nitpick about him. I love it. I think it's awesome. It's as realistic as you could possibly get for a figure. So when they released the Clone Wars Maul figure, I was ecstatic. I could not wait to pre-order that, get my hands on. I know I was going to pre-order and it wasn't going to come in 2 years, but I don't care because Maul stuff is my thing. But the issue that I had was that they reused the head of Solo Maul.
Yeah.
So they literally made a new body of Maul, which they made a little, like, you know, he has his chest out, he has the robotic legs, and he has, he has like cargo type pants. And his body looks slim and cut up like he would in the Clone Wars, like he did in the Clone Wars. But his face is bloated, scarred up. Like it's Solo. Yeah, they just took the Solo head. And even if they would have just reused the head, there's so many other Maul's heads that they could have used. You know, like one. So, and my brother said to me, he was like, well, they make it live action, so that's why they use that face. And I have no problem with it being live action and not looking animated. I have a problem with it not being accurate because Maul in the Clone Wars was very gaunt and skinny, and even if you weren't going to go that route, just slim it out a little bit, make it live action, but make it true to the show. And even if you're not, use a different Maul head because Solo Maul was not the Maul that we saw in Clone Wars. It just wasn't.
They do a lot. They've been very lazy. Some of the Hasbro people, not Hasbro. I take that back. Some Star Wars stuff. Like, why would you go through all that trouble to make everything perfect? And then it's like, here's your head.
That's what I mean, and that's a figure that, like, I mean, listen,
that's the difference maker.
But the people are gonna still buy it. I probably eventually will throw that on a pre-order or buy it or whatever the situation is. I just haven't because
I can't wait to see the reviews because it's gonna be like, hey, I picked this up, Sideshow sent it, but this head is her. So why did you drop $300?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, people do it. People do it anyway.
Don't buy it to crap on it. Just don't buy it then.
Well, that's the thing. So
that's my point exactly.
But what Sideshow does do is sometimes they will release a figure and eventually, like, as time goes on, change things.
Yeah, hey, here's an updated prototype.
I pre-ordered Grogu day one when that released. When it released, there was things that they said about it. First of all, it doesn't look exactly like the prototype because nothing looks exactly like the prototype because that's a prototype and then you put something in mass production and things change. Right. So people 100%. Complained about that, and listen, whatever. You can't expect things to be the prototype because it's not going to be. But they did end up changing a few things where they made his head, like they said he was just going to be a statue. They also, like at that time, they said he wasn't going to be removable from the stand, or when they did say he was going to be removable from the stand, but he was going to have pegs coming out his feet that go into the stand. He wasn't going to be able to move. So he is a statue, but they did add, like, you could swivel his head right and left. Okay. They did add that when you take him off the stand, he can stand and he doesn't have the peg coming out because the peg goes into his foot.
Gotcha.
So he has like a little hole in the bottom of his foot. So they did improve it a lot. And I already was sold. I really didn't need the improvements, but it helped.
On that, 240?
I just like, you think
I'm just saying, because when it comes down to like price point like that,
I think it was
stuff like that should be included. Like, you should be able to pose it. You should be able to move the head. Like, it shouldn't just be like a stack. Like, here you go. That's it.
It was $375. The Grogu.
Well, it wasn't $375 because when I pre-ordered it, it was cheaper. I think it was $325 or $350. I don't remember.
I was on Sideshow yesterday, and I thought that's
whatever price they said, I was paying. Like, I wanted it that bad. So like, I probably put my credit card in before I even checked the price. But
I don't care.
Yeah, like I was doing it. But it wasn't a bad price. It was actually very affordable. Like, I think you said, like, I think it's $375 right now, but I think it was like $325 or $350, and they upped the price after like a couple months or a month or something. But like I said, they changed things. So I'm hoping, and well, I mean, it might be too late now, I don't know, but I was hoping that they would eventually change the Maul head after hearing from the fans. And the people who buy their stuff and thinking maybe we could add another head or change the head or whatever the situation was.
The reason why I think that they won't is because if Maul shows up in live action, say in Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever the case may be, he might look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be the Maul we get in live action. So that's why I wouldn't expect it to change, and that's why I expect it to look like that.
I have two coming in. I have two pre-orders coming in. I have Ahsoka and Rex, and Rex comes with the jetpack, the 332nd helmet, the Ahsoka Trooper helmet. So that one, I'm excited for pretty much.
I was sending Mike that the other day.
Those are awesome.
Really close to pressing checkout on the on the Ahsoka Trooper helmet.
You need to do it.
And listen, I want the like. So my favorite scene in Clone Wars was when Maul was in the Mandalorian, what is it called? Like the Mandalorian chamber. I'm drawing a blank on, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so he's in there, and you just see his eyes, and that scene.
When they capture him.
When they capture him at the end of the last season.
We're getting a Lego.
We're getting a Lego, which that's
a win. That's a win for us.
And Chris,
speaking of that, those are the Lego troopers that stopped them.
Those are the troopers, which are awesome.
They were guarding them.
So that's my favorite scene ever. So when they announced that he was coming with the Mandalorian chamber box, the Sideshow, I was like in awe.
Oh, it's coming with Sideshow.
It's coming with the figure. It's the box is coming with it. So that's awesome. like
I didn't know
that. No, it is.
That's a deal breaker right there, brother.
That's my thing. So, but I mean, it's still Solo's eye, like Solo Maul eyes peeking out. But whatever. the chain, like, but that's another thing too. So I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna put him in this chamber, this box, and you're not even gonna see him in there. You're just gonna see his eyes and have him in there because that's how I'm gonna leave him because that's my favorite.
Like, hey man, where's your mole? He's on lockdown.
Yeah, like I'm leaving him in that box at all times just because.
A lot of people.
I love that scene. That scene was awesome.
That trooper that you just showed, the Maul Lego that's coming out. People like it's only coming with a Maul and Ahsoka minifigure, and the Maul's gonna go in the chamber, and that trooper is not included in it, and a lot of people are like upset about it.
I want to talk about. Let me jump topics real quick because I know you guys just bought a bunch of them this morning. These things are awesome.
I bought them yesterday, Chris.
Yes, no. You would listen. Days are nights and nights are days for me, brother.
Yeah,
these things are awesome. They're accurate. The Payne apps are awesome. And
people don't like them. People talk about them, but those are the same people. Like I said, like these are for kids.
People talk about everything.
They're very
here and be like everything's for kids. It's
of course, but those are for kids, and I love them. I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
I do this thing where I don't buy certain things because then it starts down a rabbit hole. So for Christmas, I love that. For Christmas, I got the Ahsoka fleet. What is it called? Mission fleet. Yeah. And then so I got the Ahsoka mission fleet for Christmas. And then I bought 7 or 8 of them after.
Do you have the Hoth Luke and Hoth Han of the 50th anniversary?
So I had them on pre-order with Big Bad, and then when I was able to get them at Target, I canceled the pre-orders on Big Bad. So I haven't gotten them yet. My guy at I won't tell you what Target. I mean, I'll tell you.
Later.
He's holding 2 for me, so I got them over there at Target. So I just got to go pick them up. So he's holding them for me. But they're nice. They're cool figures. So for me, so I got to stop. You guys see how much money I spend on these things? It's a ridiculous amount, and
you drag me down with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll get a text. I get a text all the time, and it's like, "Hey, should I pick? Do you want this?" And
it's like 8:06 in the morning. He's still in a coma for 3 more hours.
And I'm
like,
yeah.
Like 11.
Well, that's the best thing. If I'm still sleeping, it's great because I miss out on spending more money that I didn't need to spend. But if I'm up, I'll probably say, "Yeah, grab me one," and then I'm like you've seen. When we were FaceTiming the other day, I showed you the pile that's just from the past few days because I haven't put it away, and it's just a pile. It's insane.
That's what this box is like. This isn't this. I have a little box over here.
Well, there's your Galaxy's Edge droid. Did we talk about that? I don't remember.
No, we didn't.
All right,
we all have one.
This is another one of my favorite.
I have one.
I love this thing. This is my favorite thing. And people are like, "Hey, man, so
I love it."
The inspiration, Toy Story," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like,
"Is it?"
I
thought the same thing.
Well, just so everybody knows, that's Chris's wrestling colors. So when Chris used to wrestle, that was his. Because I've been to plenty of Chris's shows, so I know those colors once he sends me a picture, and that is the color of the gear that Chris used to wear all the time when he wrestled.
I thought, especially considering Toy Story Land is directly.
No. So
I bit on a buzz.
My wife's favorite color is purple. My favorite color is neon green. So when I first started wrestling, the first 3 years, my wrestling colors were neon green and purple and black and white.
There it is.
He wanted to be a Hardy. He wanted to be a Hardy. He was the third Hardy.
Yeah, pretty much. But I did this because that was long before people started doing droid customs, and then like 6 or 7 months later, all of a sudden, everyone was like, "Hey man, look at this!" And I'm like, "What the hell? Like, I can't sit here for hours and customize a droid." So I just did this.
I love some people I love this stuff. I can't do it. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not gonna. But like people take the dome off, and under the dome is like supposed to look like wiring, but it looks really like it's plastic. It doesn't look like wiring. It's just shaped like it. And people paint each little piece and customize it, and it looks unbelievable. But this is something that's under the dome that you would have to take the dome off to see it, and nobody ever does. You know
who's got one of the nicest ones they've ever done, and it was like one of the first ones. That guy Dan Flores, he did like a tiki one.
Okay.
It's like,
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
It looks like wooden grain with all different types of bright colors, like pastel colors.
I've seen it in one of the Facebook groups that we're in.
Yeah, it's the droid droid group.
Yeah, we're very active in these groups. You could pop in and find us in there talking about stuff because we just don't stop.
Mike begs me to get a Facebook 5 times a week.
I tell him because
you literally. You're like, "Hey, what happened in this group?"
I mean, now we're since we've been doing the podcast, we have our Discord and we have people joining the Discord all the time. So we're trying to keep our Discord popping, and we're always writing in there and sending us stuff in there first. And you got to Chris, do you have a Discord?
What's a Discord?
Exactly. I know. Well, that's funny that you said that because me and Steph have talked
about
that.
25 minutes to get his camera on.
Exactly. So,
listen. First of all, okay,
I'll set you up with a Discord for a very cheap price.
You guys, I didn't just buy this for today. I've had this. Yeah. It's been sitting for like since when the pandemic hit. I was like, you know what? I want to do my own podcast, and I'm always like so timid to like be like, yeah, you know what? I'll do it by myself because one, I hate the way my voice sounds. I'm never comfortable in front of the camera.
I never rewatch an episode.
This is a guy who used to cut promos for a living.
Right, and I hated it. I hated every second of it because I always like you're always harder on yourself than everybody else is, and I always thought that I was terrible at it. So like it's always been like a fear thing for me. So I would love to sit here and just shoot the the stuff.
Yeah. Good boy.
But I bought this because I wanted to do a podcast, and it just sat there. I don't know.
No, it's cool. But listen, now that we are doing this, and you don't stop, as long as you don't stop buying merch, you could come on anytime.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna slow down with the 6-inch figures because I can get double my money's worth by getting the 3.75s. Plus, they put out so much. I think they put out more stuff, and I think they're better. And it's like it's a smaller scale, so it's easier to put stuff out and everything like that.
Oh yeah. What's your most anticipated thing coming out? Like, is there anything that you're looking to get right now?
That's coming out. So I ordered the
probably already have everything ordered that's out.
Yeah. Don't even start because Walmart, that dumpster fire of a company. I hate you.
I can't believe they get these deals, man.
I don't understand how they do that.
When I see something as a Walmart exclusive,
I know it's tough.
When I see something's a Walmart exclusive, I commit to not getting it.
Well, you guys saw what I went through to get those the Clone Wars exclusives.
Oh yeah, when Gar Saxon the mold.
Literally in the shop room.
I have the
literally in the stock room telling the lady, this is the box.
Well, that's what I ended up doing too because Walmart released the figures and the people that worked at Walmart never put them out on the shelves. And luckily I knew because of you what the box looked like because I had you on FaceTime and I had my phone and I put it in the stock room and I was like, Chris, tell me which box it is. You're like, it's that box. So now I'm telling the kid, I'm like, check that box for Star Wars toys, please. And the kid does it. And then he's like, all right, come here. And then I come in, I'm getting screamed at. Like, I'm like,
like 5.
Get out of here. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'll go in the stock room with no permission.
But this is the stuff we have to do because the stores don't put them out. Or
dude, it literally went like this. Michael was on the phone with the FaceTime. You were with him, right?
Yeah, I was there.
He was searching the aisles while I was with you on the phone.
And I'm like this on the phone. I'm like, all right, no, go left.
Yeah.
No, next, go. Yeah, those doors, go in the doors. And then they're like, what box? And I'm like, that giant box over there. Like, it's a Star Wars display.
The one that says the Star Wars.
I was like, I said to the kid, I'm like, is there Star Wars stuff in there? And he's like, I'm like, can you please check? And he looks in and he's like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, is there a guy with like a helmet and horns on his head? And he's like, because some people don't know. So like to tell them a name, like I can't be like, you have the Ahsoka trooper.
Yeah, of course. And you can't say like exactly. I think you said because I got my Ahsoka trooper from Chris.
Yeah.
You got me the Ahsoka and the Saxon together from there. So you were like, oh, the woman. Is there a woman in there?
Yeah.
The only woman in
that drop.
In the set, I believe.
In the set, yeah. In that release. Yeah. No, she was. Besides, well, I was gonna say the woman
so you were like a woman and
it was
a guy
just
with
Ahsoka,
horns.
Yeah. Well, that's the other day when I was I went to Target and I was talking to somebody there and I was like, do you have this? And they're like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, do you have the blue guy?
Yeah.
Like, do you have it says Star Wars on it and it's a blue guy. Like
we were in Target the other day and you were telling me to go ask the guy about the Han Solo.
You have to because what happens now with these scalpers and the people who get there an hour before and take everything that they can get their hands on. So now a lot of the Targets are restricting how much goes on the shelf or
look what they did with the G.I. Joes. Those 2 G.I. Joe Targets that they had. They keep them in the front now. They're not allowed.
Yeah, well, that's what
per customer.
So, and sometimes even when you look on the phone, like the mission fleets that I got the other day I got Darth Vader, I got Obi-Wan, and I got Kylo Ren. And like when you look online, it doesn't even tell you if they have them in stock anymore. It just tells you like check your store for details. So like you don't know if they have it in stock, so you can't even go to them and be like, no, I know you have it in stock somewhere. Can you please look?
Well, how many times have I told you? I'm like, it says it's in stock, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna order it, and then I'll go pick it up, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, no,
it's gonna say it's in stock. And these cronies at Target that don't care, they just work there because it's a side job that the parents make.
No, they don't. Yeah.
and they push their little cart and they're just like, and
Well,
they're not going to get it.
me,
They don't start their shift. They don't start getting stuff until about 9 o'clock. So the people like us that go there, they go and pick everything up and they get 2, 3, 4, and then that's it. And it's gone. And then you're like, oh my, I guaranteed every time by like 12:30, you get that notification that says, oh, your order was canceled. And it's like, yeah, because the scalper went there, picked it up, and now you're out of luck.
Well, like something that always happens with me at Target, specifically by me, mostly with video game releases. I never really have an issue with action figures, but like there will be like an older man, let's say, working the electronics section at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they have no idea what I'm talking about. They don't even know what a Nintendo Switch is, let alone where to find this game and stuff.
And you're like, hey, man, you got this? And they're like, nah, whatever's out's out. And then they walk away from you.
Whatever's out's out, and it's a massive video game that just dropped.
Yeah. But then you have some guys like, I'm not, you know who I'm talking about now with Target, Chris. I'm not going to shout him out just because then people are going to look for him. But yeah, but you know who I'm talking about, and he is amazing. Awesome. He awesome. If you ask him for something, and if he has it, he'll look for it. If he doesn't, he's awesome. But he holds stuff.
Like he's not a toy guy, but he knows his department because
it doesn't matter. He's not a toy guy, but he's a customer service guy, and he wants to make the person who comes in leave satisfied, and that's it. If I was going in there and looking for a towel or a figure or whatever it was, he would help out. You know what I mean?
He always goes like this. I'm like, hey man, I came in yesterday. You weren't here. I didn't see you. And I'm like, I asked this person. He's like, you can't ask them. Like,
yeah. That's the thing. Like there's been plenty of times when I go in there for stuff that's not even toy related, and they're like, it's in that aisle. And I go over there, and then I come back. It's not in that aisle. It should be in that aisle. And I'm like, can you just look on your phone, on your, track it? See,
you were in the store for 45 minutes waiting for this.
Oh yeah.
I'm there. We're like, this is it. It's here. Mm-hmm. It's drop day. Go get it. And they're like, I can't find it. And then sure enough, he showed up, and within 5 minutes, he came back down with them for everybody.
Yeah, well, we both met there at like I think 7 a.m. or whatever, and I needed to pick up one for me, one for you, and one for my brother. Which I never
sick deal too.
Yeah, and I never usually do, like, I never usually get more than one unless it's like for us. Like, I'm not I don't resell things. So I only buy, like, I like to leave whatever's there for the next person who's coming in to look for it. You know what I mean? So, but unless I'm getting it for you guys because my brother works at a certain time, so he can't be there, or you were on call, so you couldn't be there, or you were there and then you had to leave because they couldn't find it.
I can't stay.
But that's another thing. Now that we talk about that, that's another problem that the Targets are having, where they have a release date of like April 1st, right? And then a month before it's out on the shelf, you bring it up to buy it because you're like, oh crap, what is this doing here? Like, I need, like, okay.
That happened that day with Ron and Cody.
Yeah, it happens all the time with stuff. It happens before whatever it was, my brother's birthday or Christmas or whatever it was, I went into the store and I look in the corner of my eye, I'm like, wait a second, am I losing my mind? And there's the Grogu Lego set. And it doesn't release until the end of the month. So I'm like, what the? So I grab it and I'm like, I can't even believe this. So I run over to the thing and I go to buy it, and the lady's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't sell this to you. And that sucks because like it was out on the shelf, and like I know that but then now, you know what I mean? Like it's just a mess. And then what happens is when that happens, they take the stuff because it keeps happening because people keep putting it out because they have it. So the workers put them out and they don't know that it has a certain date. And then they end up
those, but not the ones you want, right?
Exactly. But that's the problem. So they all collect all the Star Wars figures and put them somewhere so that they can't get put out on the floor. But they're not, everyone doesn't know that they hid them in customer service under 6 boxes. So now when you go in there on the release date at 7 a.m. to go get the figure, oh, we can't find them. But online it says you have 7. No, we have 7. We just don't know where they are. And I'm like,
always happens.
Well, that's because they came in early. So I don't know why they do these release dates where they put them out so far in advance that they have months to put them out on the shelves by accident. But that kind of sucks because it messes up the whole flow of things. You know?
And I like physically going to get my toys too. I don't necessarily like ordering my figures because I don't know how that is going to come. It's too dicey to order. So you have to go to this big billion-dollar company that, has this deal with this figure,
and Target does a way better job with exclusives than Walmart. Walmart, I think, is the worst.
Walmart's trash. I actually hate Walmart. They canceled 3 orders of mine in the last 2 days, and then they pop up again that day from some other company and it's 3 or 4 times the price. And it's like, well, this is an exclusive. So how do they have these that they can sell them back on your website at triple and quadruple the price? And they never want to answer you. They're the worst. They're the absolute worst. And then when they ship it, it's like they know it's a collectible. Hey, I'll throw it in a mailer bag. I'm not going to put it in a box.
How horrible,
and then when the box
right?
comes, it's always half the size. And they bend the flap over.
I don't like. I. That's why I really don't order Black Series or anything like that, because I like to have it in my hand in the store. Like even the other day, like yesterday when I went to the store, I was looking around the toy section. The Star Wars section in Target was totally empty, but there was the Kylo Ren Mission Fleet, and I needed that one, so I grabbed it. Then I looked over to another aisle, and all of a sudden Obi-Wan was sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I have to take you too. And then I went to a totally different section, and Vader was there, and I'm like, okay, this is my lucky day. Like I sent the picture to my brother, and I was like, just tell me, yes, I need these, just to give me that validation to bring them home. And one of the boxes was a little bent, the Vader, but like literally it wasn't a problem. But you know, like collectors, we want everything to be perfect, and it was a little bent. So I like walked around the store. I was like, do I get this? I'm like,
well, you want the opportunity for it to be perfect.
Exactly. But at least I knew that, like, all right, I got it at the store. You know, shit happens in control in the back. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes sometimes I have Funkos in a box in my garage, like a big bundle of them. And they've been in there for so long that some of them are getting a little bent. Like, you know what I mean? Like that
happened to all my Power of the Force Star Wars. I kept in my parents' attic, and then just over time they've warped.
There's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? I order a lot of. I'm big on vintage or like old stuff, so I order a lot of old collectibles that like I couldn't get in 1999 because I was a little kid and I didn't have any money.
Vintage and put 1999 in that?
Well, no, I'm talking. Well, I get a lot of older stuff than that. But I'm saying like now I'm on a prequel kick. You know what I mean? So I was getting a lot of 1977 New Hope merch.
You're good.
That's vintage for me. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's still vintage. New Hope is. I mean, the prequels are vintage for me. I was what?
Dude, it's 22 years.
Something. Yeah, that's a long time.
22 years, bro. My car is 26 years old. It's considered historical. I'm like,
but do you know how hard it is to get stuff that old from people that is going to be in immaculate shape? And if you do get it in immaculate shape, you know how much they're going to upsell it because there's 6 of them on eBay and one of them is in really good shape so they can charge you. You know what I mean? Real
quick for eBay people, that's not the actual price. Stop it. You're hurting the community. You're trying to make extra money. Stop it. It's
too horrible. Much. I only use eBay when I have no choice.
Yeah,
and it sucks. Or like we don't resell. Like we actually want these figures. I don't want the Hoth Han, the 50th anniversary, for example, because that's what I want right now.
No, I want it. I want to open.
I want it to go behind me and sit on my shelf for the next 20 years.
So Thrawn, I needed to collect to finish out my Rebels. Mm-hmm. The Rebel set with Ezra and oh my god!
I want the Sabine.
Them
Black Series.
Totally brain farting right now. But although I want like my Dolthoff, my glass case from IKEA that everyone has. If you're a collector, everyone's got to have one.
Oh yeah.
One little section just for Rebels, and I needed that one, so I bought one. I'm gonna open it, and that's it. Super excited for the Razor Crest to come out in the vintage collection one. I don't know if you bought that or not. I remember you said you were on the fence.
Which one was it? The Razor Crest?
Razor Crest.
Should we tell him? Should I tell him what happened?
Yeah, tell him what happened.
Oh wait, okay, I know the story.
Well, let's tell everybody else what happened.
Yeah. Okay, so you know this story, Chris.
I remember.
I gave him a brief story, but tell him the rest.
So what happened was
refresh his mind and everyone who hasn't heard this story because it's
for Christmas. Me and Mike, before doing this podcast, watched every single episode of The Mandalorian together. For Christmas, I pre-ordered the vintage series Razor Crest for him. It was going to be huge. He was going to lose his mind. It was going to be the biggest thing.
Because Chris, me and you went back and forth 100 times of how bad I
wanted it.
That.
I wanted it. Yeah. I was talking to my girlfriend about me keeping it for myself and not even telling
her. Tell the story. I'll be right back. So keep going with the story.
And long story short, so I got it for him for Christmas, and the Razor Crest gets absolutely annihilated. That week on The Mandalorian, they completely, they get rid of the ship, explodes, is ash. There's no more, this is so much fun. And I started panicking. I'm sitting next to Mike watching it. And I can't tell him this because I still might give it to him for Christmas.
Right.
So the next day, I made the executive decision after getting no sleep that night to cancel the pre-order.
And now look at you.
And I still don't know if that was the right move.
It's not, and I'll tell you why. Because everyone's like, "Oh, they blew it up, so now what? I'm going to cancel it. It's not even in the show anymore." That thing survived a season and a half.
oh, for sure. If
now if you look back, they made the sail barge. The sail barge
absolutely right.
Was in it for immensely less time, considerably less time than the Razor Crest.
When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, in 15 years from now, we still could be considering the Razor Crest and the Mandalorian in the same sentence. You're 100% right. But I was panicking. I was freaking out. This wasn't a well thought out decision.
It was a horrible decision. That's a terrible decision.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
So this is the thing. So I knew nothing about this. I had no idea that he pre-ordered this for me for Christmas. No clue. So when the Razor Crest got blown up, we were talking about it, and I was like, kind of like, oh, that sucks for everyone who ordered the Razor Crest. To make myself feel better for not pre-ordering the Razor Crest, right?
Yeah.
But little did I know that was going into his ears, and he was like, I got this kid the Razor Crest for Christmas, and now he's making fun of the Razor Crest for blowing up, even though I was doing that for my, like, if I knew Stefan got me the Razor Crest, I would have been
detail. I didn't add the fact that for 24 hours I was trying to bait you.
That's why
telling me where your head was.
Yeah.
And I was like, so like, what do you think about the people who pre-order the vintage series? And you were just like,
well, like I was like busy, and he was texting me about the Razor Crest blowing up every 5 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, that sucks. The Razor Crest blowed up, like, you know what I mean? But he wanted me to be like, oh yeah, the Razor Crest is still gonna age so well and stuff.
Yes,
but like
that's what I needed. That's
and
what
I probably would have been that. I mean, I definitely would have been that way. I mean, granted, Christmas came, he canceled the pre-order. He even ordered. Did you tell him that you ordered me like the patch because the pre-order obviously wasn't gonna come in time?
Yeah, exactly. I had a whole show put on.
He ordered me a patch that said I backed the Razor Crest.
Now it's just I owe you.
Yeah, well, he ended up getting me awesome stuff. I got a Sith holocron.
That's another reason why. That's another reason why I felt like I only had 12 hours to make this decision, because I bought you a $400 ship, and I wasn't just going to tell you I didn't get it. I had to replace that.
He made up for not getting me the ship with a bunch of other Star Wars stuff that was unbelievable. So like, I forgot about the Razor Crest by now, but like, we'll still tell the story. But it was just like a crazy situation. I remember when he canceled the Razor Crest. We went to go get dinner one night, and he's like, "Should I tell you this?" And I'm like, well, "Tell me what?" And he's like, so I got the Razor Crest and I canceled the Razor Crest, and I'm like,
is that an impression of me? Is that what I sound?
I was gonna say it sounded really spot on.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I didn't want to do it.
He's like, listen, I got you the Razor. Now then, mind you, like, I'm starving. The food just gets at the table, and I lose all my appetite. I'm sitting there like this the entire time, like I can't eat. He's not even telling me. Like, first of all, even if, like, because the surprise that would have brought would have been insane. You know what I mean? Like, because I had no idea. So if he would have presented to me, I got you the Razor Crest, my brain would have exploded. I would have been so excited. But now he's
getting exploded or not, it's probably the best piece of Star Wars merch that's like confirmed right now. You know what I mean?
That's back to what we said about most anticipated thing. That's probably my most anticipated thing to come out, and then my my Rex, my Sideshow Rex.
Yeah,
that thing just looks mint.
Yeah. So that was an insane situation. But we got through it, and now. What I want and what I'm going to keep pushing because I want it so bad. I know it's obviously going to come, but I just think they're just like toying with me because they're dropping all these other ones. I need the Black Series Clone Wars Mall. I need, like, where is it? You gave me everybody
it's with the
else.
Old mold.
Yeah, right. Imagine they drop like the old mold and it's a little.
I'm not.
But honestly, the old mold is awesome. I wouldn't even be mad.
That's what I would expect.
Yeah,
what I was
like that wouldn't bother me.
Same crap and a different lightsaber.
That wouldn't.
The Black Series tomorrow, I would not get excited right away because it very well could look like either Solo head or Phantom Menace head. Like, so I'd be giving it a 0% shot to actually look like Clone Wars.
I have zero confidence.
I got Stefan if you see, it's all the way in his top corner, the Comic-Con Thrawn, where it comes in like an opening case. You see it up in the corner, right? The black case. It's all the way on the top next to.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, no. Yeah. Hey, Staten Island Toy Store, Daxies or whatever. Remember that toy store I was telling you about? He got one in. He just got one in.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to see how much it is.
So I got him that, and it's amazing. It's like almost like it opens like a book.
Thick.
It has all
tons of accessories.
It comes with all the stuff that Thrawn has collected throughout the series, and it has like. It looks like you're in like the dock, like in the head of the ship. It's unbelievable. So I'm hoping that they drop
favorite piece of merch I have.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, and this is my anticipation, that they're gonna do like a style like that of the mall, like maybe not that extreme, but like have the Mandalorian chamber with it, and do it like more like a set like that. You know what I mean? Like a Comic-Con exclusive type of set, and that's why we didn't get just the regular figure. So that's my goal, because I would, if that was the case, I would buy 2 of them just because I would unbox one of them and play with it.
Absolutely.
And another one that would just sit on the shelf right next to me at all times.
I regret.
I couldn't my other figures, like all my mall merch, because that would be
if I could have multi of anything, the Ahsoka Trooper Black Series, because I only have one of which I mentioned earlier. Chris got me. I wish I had 14 of them.
So I have. Do you want to know how many I have?
Yeah, people are gonna. I know this answer.
They can get mad all they want. This is my thing.
You're gonna get canceled after this. I'm telling you that.
I'm the last person to care anything in the world. Cancel me. I beg you to cancel me. I don't care.
Heel turn.
I don't give a crap about a person going out and buying 20 figures and saying, "Hey, I'm army building," because you're not going to be like, "Hey, I have 20 of them," and then. Just they're in stacks.
You're not selling them. You're playing.
You're going to display them.
Up. Yeah.
Right.
Setting up. I had 10. You asked me for one for Stefan, so I gave it. I picked one up, and then I now have 9. I have 9 Ahsoka troopers. But I'm not going on Mercari. I'm not going on eBay. I'm not going on Facebook Marketplace looking to sell them for $50, $60. I'm not trying to loop them in with I got all 4. Give me $350. No, they're mine. I plan on making a display and dioramas. I'm retiring soon from work. I know this young face. But I'm retiring soon. I plan on doing dioramas, and I bought multiples of specific ones. And the 332nd ones are the ones that I'm sorry. That's one of the baddest figures that they have out.
Well, I wish I had a bunch. I wish I had 10 of them for my own well-being. Because like you said,
that's the problem with troopers.
The box, and then I would have all the other ones displayed.
Yeah.
That's the problem with troopers when there's like they should literally just make a set of like 5 or 6 of them that you could act like. I would like people would buy that, the people who people would buy a set of a bunch of different stormtroopers, like a bunch of the same way they did for the
Saga series when they came out with that Saga series, the 3.75s. They used to come out like the Walmart. They were exclusive to Target for the most part, but they had like 5 or 6 figures in them.
Like if you see, I have my Jawas. I have my Jawas. I got these unboxed from somebody.
Perfect example.
So they had a bunch of them, but they're a bunch of different Jawas, you could say.
Yeah, but I have like 3 or 4 of those from the Black Series ones. They were $8.78 on sale at GameStop. I bought 4 of them. Why? I plan on doing a Mandalorian Jawa scene.
Well, that's the thing. Jawas are our thing. I cannot get enough of Jawas. So when somebody sent me these, I got like 6 of them. It's awesome, and they're different Jawas. And like Jawas are like these figures over here. Where are they? Right here.
Yeah,
they come in a pair. Because Jawas there's always more than one Jawa. You know what I mean?
That's how it should be.
Exactly. So like a set.
In a 2-pack.
Exactly. It should be in a minimum of a 2-pack when it comes to Jawas. I mean, I love 100%. My Black Series Jawa that I have. I love my vintage collection Jawa that I have. Like those are awesome. But like I love to unbox and have a bunch of these laying around because it's my thing.
Absolutely. My prized possession in my whole entire Star Wars collection is without a doubt my AT-AT from 1983. It's mint condition. All the stickers are there. The batteries and everything. The functions work. I told you I have 2 AT-AT drivers sitting inside of it. Mint with their accessories, and I have the box. The box is in pristine condition. I didn't bring it up because it's just too big. I have too much stuff in here and whatever. But that's without a doubt my favorite piece that I have in my collection. So
take some pictures. Take some pictures. We'll throw them on the Instagram and maybe even have them pop up. Oh, perfect. Wow, that's so cool, Chris. Wow.
I mean, so when I got this,
we're definitely gonna do this again. We're gonna do, and we will do little shorter videos where we get a few things and just pop on here and show people what we got. Stefan's gonna come on here and do an entire Lego set. And
I'll do
I
it.
won't
Don't
be
you
here for
play
that
34 hours. I'll get one of the big. I'll get one of the huge. I'll get the $500 Millennium Falcon right now. $700 Millennium Falcon. I think it's like.
Oh, that's another cool piece.
Hours.
I should definitely do an unboxing for and send to you guys. The Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon Vintage Collection.
Yeah, listen,
we'll do.
It? There's some stuff. Yeah, he has it. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought it when it first came out.
Yeah.
I love that set. I love it because it's Galaxy's Edge. I love that they put Hondo and Chewie in there, right? That's
bro, everything.
Yeah, I love Hondo merch.
Galaxy's Edge logo on it. I bought.
Yeah.
That's how important that place is.
I'm a sucker for it.
Give me Hondo live action ASAP.
Oh man. Oh, real quick. Sorry for that. That was very loud.
Well, I was going to give you a real quick that I was going to throw in there.
No, because I spoke to you about this briefly, and it was off topic of merch and everything like that. Here is your Thrawn.
Oh yeah, he's been pushing this. That's what he wants, and I like it. It's cool. Oh, me too.
And if not him, I don't remember his name. Mark Strong, I think maybe the dude that was in Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. The villain in the beginning. He's bald, but they put a fantastic wig on him, and he's got a face that could play Thrawn, and he's younger by significant years than John Isaacs.
All right, so we already did our episode on who we think is gonna be Thrawn. So you're a little late, but we can.
Yes, I wasn't there.
But
come on, Michael, cut me some slack.
But you're good on this. But now this is
go back and watch episode 3 of the Jawas and Java podcast.
This is my and then that I wanted to ask you before we get off here.
The link.
Yeah, there's nothing there. But this is what I wanted to ask you before we get off. So in terms of Galaxy's Edge, there's been talk, and I have no idea. Like, I just know there's been talk. I don't know who's talking about it, but there's been talk that they're going to change. Well, that there's a possibility that they would bring Mando and Grogu and Ahsoka and that era into Galaxy's Edge. Around. Yeah. So and also that kind of conflicts with the fact that Batu and Galaxy's Edge is supposed to be canon, because you would have, then you'd pretty much have to get rid of Kylo Ren and you know what I mean and stuff like that. So
it created the whole backstory for it. Why would you not keep it true?
So how do you feel about that? Like, would you prefer it to stay true, or would you prefer for them to change things up? Like, what's your take on changing up Galaxy's Edge to different timelines, I guess?
I mean, if you're going to be like a super fan about it, I would keep it to the timeline, like keep it appropriate to canon. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, though, like if you go every single year to Disney, or if you're a annual pass holder to Disney, like why would you want to keep seeing Kylo and Chewbacca?
Well, that's the thing. And Rey, I could see Chewbacca.
I think
I'll never get.
I think what they probably should do, and like this is from an idiot's perspective, but I think that they should just deem Galaxy's Edge non-canon, so that you could just bring all these characters in and it not be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because
the only people that are going to make it a big deal are the adults.
Oh yeah, well, kids don't care. They just want to enjoy. Like they go there and enjoy it. It's us that are going to Galaxy's Edge and saying like, "Oh,
we're going to be walking around with a little thermo detonator, Cokes, and be like."
Yeah. Well, what do you mean?
That's non-canon.
They would never eat this cookie in this era.
Right. Churro?
What? So true.
There's churros in a galaxy far, far away. I doubt it. But I mean, I am all for. Listen, the future of Star Wars, like the sequel trilogy, it makes sense because that was kind of like the future of Star Wars at that
was
time.
The Disney staple. That was Disney's era.
And I think this new future of Star Wars wasn't a thought at that time, or in this capacity. I just don't think so. And that's why we got what like that era that we're in. But I think that, I mean, I would love to walk around with Mando holding Grogu. I would love to see it.
Meet and greet, similar to like the BB-8 meet and greet.
But they listen. I mean, and I said this to my brother the other day. Like, it's the rides that really would mess things up, because you can change the stuff going on in Batu, but you can't change Rise of Resistance. And I wouldn't want you to change Rise of Resistance. I love that ride. And then pretty much like as far as the Millennium Falcon ride, the Millennium Falcon's always around. So having the Millennium Falcon there doesn't mess up canon really. And having you also have Hondo, and you know what I mean? It's a different kind of story. And you could also change the beginning animation to anything and make the story a little different. You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's not a problem for me. It would probably be the Rise of Resistance, but I mean, I'm sure with the way that things are going, they're going to have a Mando Grogu meet and greet, even if it's at that other section, the
Star Tours
section.
Yeah, you could easily put it there, no problem.
Yeah, so you could do stuff like that, but I just wanted to hear what your thought of that is. But I mean, I'm always down for things changing.
as a regular fan, like not like whatever, like I like Star Wars, but I'm not really like in that realm. Like I'm not deep into it. Yeah, sure. Why not have them all walking around? But if you're a super fan and stuff like that,
yeah.
I mean, if you're
Canon,
really getting
Canon
upset
ruins
that they're
everything for
walking around,
diehard Star Wars
like,
fans because you're so pinpointed on like this has to be this way or this can't be this way.
Yeah,
And
but why are we letting it affect us that seriously? It's like I'm sorry. For me,
yeah.
like I get it. I totally understand. I have my views on the movies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're going to a theme park. Like I want
Right.
everything
yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars.
I don't
want
think
everything. Give me everything.
I don't think a theme park needs to be canon, and I think they can have a Rise of the Resistance ride that is this, and they could also have an Ahsoka meet and greet and a Grogu meet and greet. And
well, the thing is, like right now it is canon, and they have like I know in the Solo movie they mentioned Doc Ondar. You know, like they had like a name drop and stuff. So they do use
in the
it.
novels. There's a lot of Batu in the novels.
Mm-hmm.
The whole second Thrawn book takes place on Batu, but that's another reason why
excuse me. Some of us haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Sorry.
I mean, I should, I guess, but I didn't know that. I didn't read. But
please tell me because I'm not going to read it.
Well, I didn't read it. I didn't read it, and I bought it for him. So I guess I'm
second.
guilty.
No. You got me the latest one. The second one in the trilogy takes place of Darth Vader and Thrawn on Batu. That's the setting of the game of the book, without any more spoilers.
Wow, that's insane.
Okay,
that sounds cool. That sounds really good.
Now I got to read.
Yeah, I got to listen to it in an audiobook.
I was about to say, I hope they have an audiobook.
I got to get that audiobook. It was great having you on, Chris.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You know, well, I'm probably going to talk to you later on about your
Target
run or something. So we will talk later. Tomorrow. But for everybody else, and if anybody wants to follow Chris on social media, his social media is, without him pointing up to the air.
I'm not pointing at the air. I'm pointing in general.
What is your social media?
Payne24 on Instagram.
Okay, so you can follow him on Instagram, and
I have Twitter, but I have like 18 followers. I used to have like 4,000, and then I shut it down, and then I brought it back, and no one really cares what I have to say, so it doesn't matter.
You're an Instagram guy,
and it's because you left the wrestling game, man.
I left the wrestling. That's a whole nother podcast, brother.
Yeah, right. All right, so
shady dealings in Star Wars fans. What's like tell you about the wrestling world, dude?
Yeah, true.
All right, go be a dad, and we had a great time. Anybody who's listening and enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, share this with friends, some of your collecting friends, and let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. And if you didn't like Chris, we won't have him back on. If you did like Chris, we'll have him back on. That should
Can we put a vote here? Can we put a vote?
Yeah, we're going to vote right here. All right, Chris, I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
All right, thanks.